My world crumbled today. This is my first Reddit post, so please bear with me. I, 24M, have been left by my ex, 24F, of 5 years. From what I thought, we had a very loving and committed relationship from 2016 to 2021. We were friends for a while before we started dating, so we always had a lot in common and got along very well. The first 4 years of our relationship were amazing. I've never fallen head over heels in love with someone like that before, and I thought she was smart, funny and astonishingly attractive in her very own way. The sex was magic. It was all game in the bedroom and never a disappointment for the both of us, but the way we showed each other our love was even better. I'm not sure if this was a mistake, but I decided to give her a promise ring a couple months after we started dating. The ring was not a promise to be engaged, but a promise to be faithful and true to one another while we were together. She gave me one, and I was determined to show her that I was truly in love with her. My ex had been cheated on in a previous relationship. I felt as if I wanted to show her what real love was. We spent a lot of time together even though we lived in different cities. Her parents liked me and mine did as well. She had been with lots of other guys before me, though she always told me that I am the best I've ever had, and I've never been with a guy that loves me like you do, so I was super thrilled by that, and even more determined to prove my faith towards her. We had realized we had some issues with trust throughout the years, but everything else seemed awesome. About 3 years ago, everything was still going great with her, and one day I got a phone call from her. I answered like always. I said hello and didn't get a response, but I could hear stuff in the background. I could hear her there, and it sounded like she was with another guy. I could make out some heavy breathing, and then the words muffled of a guy saying, "Are you okay?" I started yelling her name, suspecting that she was in fact with another man. The call suddenly ended. She called me back 15 minutes later telling me that she got sick at work and her boss was wondering if she was okay while she was sick in the washroom. It felt really sus, but I ended up believing her after all. After that things were back to normal, but I always had the audio of the call stuck in my head. Fast forward to 2019. My parents decided to move from the house they had lived in for over 16 years and decided they needed a change of location. I had to move out into my own place if I wanted to stay close to where my ex was. I asked her to move out with me, and she said that she was not ready to move out yet. Come 2020, after a year living by myself and working full-time, I had decided that I wanted to go back to school and go for a bachelor's degree. I had the opportunity to move out to my parents' place so I could go back to school rent-free, which is about 2.5 hours away from my current where my ex and I lived. Earlier that year I told her that I wanted to go back to school to better myself and find something that I really enjoyed learning. She was happy about that and I had her support, until 2 months before I left. My ex came to my house telling me that she did not love me anymore and that she was leaving me because she basically didn't want to deal with long distance. Of course, she came back about 3 days later crying into my arms asking me to take her back. I took her back. 2 months later, I was finally living at my parents' place. I had transferred through my work over to my new location. Things between me and my ex were getting hard with long distance. I had feelings of anxiety that she wasn't fully in it anymore, and I was right. I got a call from her again about 3 months after the last situation telling me that this was it, that we would not continue to be in a relationship together. We went at the most 2 weeks with no contact until she messaged me again and tried her luck. I was alone, I felt lost without her. I took her back. Come 2021, we spent the first 5 months working on repairing what we had lost. I was so busy with starting school that I did not even see her for 5 months since we got back together. When we did get together again, it was magic, it always was. I felt like what we had was blooming again. I actually got her interested in some of the things I like to do and we bonded really well through that. We celebrated my birthday and went on a trip together and it was all feeling really good. In October of 2021 when my ex was back in her city, she told me over the phone that she had caught feelings for someone else. It was her coworker, 37M, that she had been working with for 4 years. She said she wanted to break it off because she thought it was not fair to have feelings for someone else while she was with me. I agreed, but didn't want her to leave again. I couldn't believe how much older he was than her. I had the suspicion that she was not in love with me anymore as she just stops texting and becomes a terrible communicator. We broke it off, and what do you know? Yes, you know. She came back, even faster than the other times. She told me she still loved me just as much as when I met her, and that it was the fact that I was not in the same place as she was. I took her back. A week went by and I got another call from her while I was at work. She told me that it's over. She told me that she had cheated on me with the guy for the last 2 months. It broke me into pieces. I was disgusted and possibly the most angry I've ever been in my life. She gave me about 3 days until she hit me up asking me to come back to her. At the time, all I wanted was to forget that she even cheated on me and just make things right with her. After all, I still really felt like I had met the girl of my dreams, even though there was an affair. After this point, we broke up more time and made up again up until now. Yesterday, I went back to her city to see her. When I arrived, she had told me that her other dude had arrived at her house apologizing to her parents, but brought flowers, a cake, and a letter for her. I thought that was fucking weird. We got a hotel room and told each other how much we loved each other even after everything we've been through. The night was filled with sex, compliments on my body, how attractive I am, how good we look together, and how much better I am than him. There was an element of sadness because of her guilt, but she was buttering me up all night. We woke up the next morning, today, and she drove me to the ferry. She told me she was planning to come and see me in a couple days when she dropped me off. We made out, said our goodbyes, and she promised that she would come back out and she'd see me in 2 days. When I got back to my city, she was not answering me and I knew what was about to happen. I got texts from her saying how she can't leave him, and how as long as he lives she's going to love him. My heart fell deeper than ever when she texted me, "It's been going on for years. My ex has been with another man for over half the length of our 5-year relationship." She told me she hooked up with him for the first time in Christmas of 2017, about 3 years ago. Oh yeah, and that call I got? Yeah. I should have known that she was making up another bullshit story. She was fucking him then. I know, I should have gone with my gut. If you're still reading this, I want you to know that I was madly in love with this person. We talked about our future together, kids, and marriage. I never thought she would do something like this to me, for real. I know I don't have any self-respect for myself taking her back. I'm not sure exactly how to move on from this. She was my first real love. I am in a lot pain and looking for guidance and insight. Thank you for your time. Holy shit. This is loaded. I can't say much, and I think that what you need to do is obvious. You gotta move on, man. She doesn't love you if she left you so many times. If you guys were friends before, she must have felt shitty and nostalgic after your breakups and confused that with love, but she doesn't have romantic feelings for you. She obviously cares about you a whole lot, but she did you very dirty and the only right thing to do now is not see her anymore until you meet someone you love as much as her, or even more. Good luck, dude. I just want you to know that your heart will heal and you will find the real true love of your life and it isn't her. Please block her forever and don't look for anything more than this as your sign to never speak or think of her again and change your scenery. Go enjoy a vacation on the beach or in the mountains and be with other women. Do what you need to be okay and fuck that cheating manipulative bitch for emotionally abusing you and stringing you along to have her cake and eat it too. I'm so sorry you're going through this and I hope you're able to move on. Maybe a little therapy will help you deal with why this all happened and how you reacted to it, especially that you kept taking her back. I have no words of wisdom, but I know you can get through this. You really can. Keep concentrating on working on yourself. You'll be okay. I think you know that you should have left her a long time ago. I have been in a situation similar to yours. And understand what it's like to really love someone. But you need to let this girl go because she never really cared about you and will never care about you. Find someone who will not give you anxiety and will respect you fully. Your ex lost respect for you through your relationship. When you get into your next relationship, watch out for red flags and stand up for yourself. And like you said, always go with your gut feeling. First of all, I'm deeply sorry. This woman. I have no polite vocabulary to describe how shrewd and selfish she is. You absolutely need to move on from her, or she'll keep coming back to you for attention and sex. Go no contact. Block her everywhere. Avoid seeing her at all costs. Keep busy with everything good, entertaining, and legal that you have at your disposal. Give yourself lots of time. I think it'll take you about a year of that before you will have moved on from this. Bro. How deeply in love you need to be to support all that bull plus it. Just get over the bi plus h. Have some self-respect. Best of luck. You have to cut this parasite out of your life completely. Block her on everything and mentally hold a funeral for her as the version of her you thought existed is now dead. I'm sorry, man. Someone will show you what true love is one day. Assuming this is real, mate, sorry to hear it. All I wanted was to forget that she even cheated on me and just make things right with her. Learn from this and don't let getting things back to the way they were be the goal when you know in your head it doesn't make to do so. Keep your head up. My 30 female friend, 29 female, is cheating on her fiancé, 32 male, with our mutual friend, 33 male. Hey Reddit, a single friend of mine, Jill, has recently started a fling with a lifelong single friend of mine, Greg. They're just casual, nothing official yet, but spending a lot of time together. 2 nights ago Jill asked me if I could keep a secret. I said sure. She tells me that our recently engaged very close friend, Amanda, has inserted herself into their fling and is now cheating on her fiancé, Tim, with Jill and Greg. I was absolutely floored and in shock. The engagement is really recent and Amanda had really pushing Tim for the engagement. They've been together for 5 years. Jill seemed kind of sad about it, but said that she had no room to tell Greg he can't fool around with Amanda because Jill and Greg aren't official. To me this is absolutely beyond that, and life-ruining for Tim. I've been dumbstruck for the past 2 days and having so much anxiety about this. I know what the morally correct thing to do here is, regardless of the fact that Amanda is my very very close friend. I'm just disgusted and heartbroken about this. Nobody knows I know this, except Jill of course. Any advice on my next steps beyond the obvious spill it all to Tim? I'm dreading the fallout. Even though I know what the right thing to do is, I'm going to be hated by multiple people. Do I go to Amanda and tell her she has to do the right thing? Do I go straight to Tim? Text Greg. Amanda? Really? You know she can't keep a secret. What about Jill? If he thinks Amanda told you, he's more likely to confirm. Once you've got a confirmation, screenshot it and send it to Tim. Jill has told you, so you will tell on Amanda. If Tim finds out you knew and didn't tell him, he will hate you forever. You just have to decide which friends you want to keep here. You know what the right thing to do is. Tell Tim. If you do not tell Tim, he's indeed going to hate you for keeping it from him. They are engaged, not married yet. You can still save this guy from a toxic relationship before they wasted a lot of money on a wedding. And fuck Amanda, Jill and Greg. They can't do this to Tim. And Amanda fucked it up herself for doing this with them. So if they get mad at you, just ignore it. Because they did it to themselves. Not your fault. But please, save Tim from this bullshit. Tell him, and let him decide what to do next. Is there evidence, beyond what Jill said to you? Make sure that it's true before you go to Tim. Jill may be testing you, or messing with you, for some reason, and you'll want to be sure that's not the case before upsetting Tim. You need to tell Tim. This is a mess. I would personally extricate myself from these relationships entirely. All around nasty. If you go where Amanda, she can change the story and minimize everything. She talked to Tim and tell him the truth. Don't let them marry after what she did. I hope you update please. Boyfriend, M27, is overprotective with me, F27. Normally he knows I can handle myself and that I am very much a tomboy and not afraid to fight back or whatever. But ever since we got pregnant he doesn't want me going anywhere without him, and it's annoying he doesn't feel comfortable with me going grocery shopping by myself or going to our favorite food places by myself. I am about 10 weeks and it's our first kid. He seems to be alright if his best friend is with me, but it feels like he wants me supervised. I am not a child. Obviously his only explanation is that he doesn't want me to get hurt or anything. Not sure what to do. I feel like telling him off so bad right now. Sit down and talk with him. Try and figure out a solution y'all are happy with. If it is simply the pregnancy issue, I'm sure he's not only thinking of your self-preservation skills but of your medical needs currently. A lot of people have changes that occur due to pregnancy, and his want to be closer makes a lot of sense. I wish y'all the best moving forward with your child and family. Natural human reaction due to instinct. My wife was actually mad at me when we were dating and some guy got too in her face on a night out and I didn't hit him, instead preferred to talk it down and chill and let it be. Few years later she's pregnant and I want to fight everyone interrupting her day, and she was mad about that. Bit of couples counseling showed the dominate male trait, thousands of years old, was at work. I learned to relax and take things in stride. She learned that it was instinct to protect the cave. Don't be mad, but help him understand his instinct is not current. Also don't underrate his protective behavior, because it's natural. These may be the possible reasons for his behavior. 1. His fatherly urge to protect you and the baby. 2. You are fragile right now. I know no one likes to hear this, but this is true, because you are pregnant. 3. Everyone around him scaring him or advising him about possible dangers during pregnancy, and as a husband, father of the child, he should take care of you, and this might be impacting his behavior. 4. Possible miscarriage in family or known person. I think it's best you have a talk with him because what you are feeling can give you stress and can cause problems in pregnancy as well. You need to talk to him and let him know very directly that this isn't okay with you. If he can't respect that boundary when you set it, you have a bigger problem on your hands. This sounds like anxiety which he needs to get a handle on, as it isn't good for him, your relationship, since it understandably upsets you. And if he stays like this after the baby comes, it could be bad for them too if his anxiety leads him to stifle them in the name of safety. Not afraid to fight back, girl. You realize A. Early pregnancy you're most at risk for miscarriage. B. Getting in a fight can cause miscarriages? Does he have any mental orders like anxiety or OCD, because that could explain the compulsive protection. The best thing for you to do in this situation, in my opinion, is to sit down with him and tell him that you feel almost suffocated by his way of things following your pregnancy. Although it's good for him to want to wrap you in bubble wrap considering the situation, it's not what you want or need from him. But on the other side of things, if this is your first child, he could be trying to work through something or could have something deep down that he hasn't said out loud. Men have a lot of emotions that come out most often when they receive news that their woman is pregnant, especially the first child. My friend is trying to expose my open relationship. I am 24, in an open relationship with my girlfriend, F26. She is bi and she likes pegging people, and since I am straight there's no way I was doing that, so we decided to open up our relationship. I have another friend who's trans. It'll be important later. At her birthday party we got drunk and ate edibles and shrooms, and I ended up having sex with her. I kind of regretted it since I normally don't do things like that with my friends, so we talked in the morning and agreed it's a one-time thing best kept between us. Our open relationship is kind of secret. She told my brother about it and he told me he knew about the open relationship. I told her that I'd really rather keep this between us since my girlfriend wants to keep the open relationship aspect a secret. She told me she's not gonna be someone's secret and shell post about sucking my dick on Facebook if she wants to. She seemed angry at this point. She is basically telling every mutual friend about it. I am kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place and I don't want to embarrass my girlfriend. She has a religious family. I am thinking I denying the hookup, but that feels fucked up. My girlfriend isn't mad, she just wish I could get her to stop. I am kind of at a loss, and while I don't hide what I do, this feels like I lost control of what's going on now. Edit. OT trying to offend anyone. It's okay if you're straight and into pegging, I still wouldn't want to do it myself. First, cut off the friend. Secondly, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You and your girlfriend need to sit down and decide which consequences are the least scary to you. Just a thought, but is it possible this young woman is upset because she believes you are ashamed of having sex with her because she is trans? That might be contributing to her feelings. I guess the first two aspects are 1. Get rid of that friend. Real friends don't treat you like that. 2. Either fully commit to an open relationship or close it. What you're doing now will always lead to trouble. Then sit down with your GF. Discuss the options and choose one. If you decide to deny it, don't feel bad. The other person is being hostile, so you don't have to play nice. Since I am straight, there's no way I was doing that. Lol. Radical honestly often goes right over people's heads. Why is she saying you cheated on your GF? Girlfriend and I have a very open and honest relationship. I never cheated. I guess she's just upset that I cut her off when it became clear that we had different ideas about our friendship. This was posted word for word from a different account a couple weeks ago. So I guess figure out what the guy whose post you're stealing did and you'll have your answer. IDKKKK sounds to me like there is lies all up in this story. Cut the friend off if she's essentially disrespecting you and your girlfriend. If you can't commit fully to the poly-type deal and acknowledge it openly, it's always gonna look and feel shady. Be open about it or don't do it.